I'm Scott Sturtevant. Farm here with my brother Steve and my son Trey here in rural Shannon. Also still have my dad involved in the operation. He's our professional gopher. We've been here since 1966. Dad started this farm here. PRRS got in the way, and so in the late 90s we decided to go to wean to finish operation, and we finish about 16,000 head a year now. So it's been a good move for us. I think the best thing has been just the resources that Pipestone has. You know, the research, all the nutrition facts, the information, everything I can get out of it. You know, at first I didn't know how I was going to like it. You know, we were kind of small town operation, then we went to this bigger thing, and I didn't know if our operation was going to get lost in the shuffle, but I think the opposite has happened. I think that it feels good to know that we're part of something bigger that has our back. The responsible use of antibiotics is not only fiscally important to our farm, you know, financially important to our farm, but more importantly, it just seems like it's the right thing to do. You know, consumers want to know what goes into their pigs as far as antibiotic use, and you know, are they treated right and everything like that, and we want to do our part, you know, in that, and making them feel comfortable buying our product. Reducing antibiotics is doing every other management practice better than we did it before. Our veterinarian is never really satisfied with where we're at. He's kind of a pain in our butt, because if we're here, he wants us to be here. When we get to here, he wants us to be here. I still remember one day he was going on in his long story short speeches. You know, you have good daily gain, you have good you know, feed conversion, your mortality rate's really good, and we're like, okay, where's this going? So he finally pulls out our first data we get from the PART program, and it says that we're on top of that list, and I'm thinking, good, and he's like, no, that's not where you want to be. So that was the next hurdle we had to climb. That was his, you know, drop the mic moment. That's what we're going to work on next. Some of the things that we've done is when we evaluated our feed records, we took a look at that and realized that we weren't at the level that we wanted to be. So the biggest thing we did was take the antibiotics out of the feed, and that was a big step forward in the right direction. I had a friend that had a saying that stuck with me. We always decided that, you know, it was a pain in the rear end to wash our buildings. You know, it was not a fun job to do, but he always told me that, you know, he'd rather farm with a pressure washer and some disinfectant than a needle and a syringe. So that thought always stuck with me. It kind of shifted our mindsets that, man, we want to tell a better story to our neighbors and make them feel better about what we're doing. Consumers want to know that they're getting a quality product that's raised the right way, and, you know, if it's been fed antibiotics, they want to know that it's been given to them responsibly. We need to do our part in helping that. They need to know that when we sell to these packing plants and the bigger name companies, that they're getting a quality product too, you know, from guys like me. What advice I would give to other farmers that want to reduce their antibiotics? I guess I would say that you kind of need a baseline. You need some records to start with. PART program is a really good place to start. And then once you get that information, you need to talk to your consultant or your veterinarian and see where you go from there. Ask yourself, is there something on my farm, a management practice that I could do better, or a few of them, to help reduce that? And you say, no, I don't know if I'll believe you. I mean, you should ask yourself that again tomorrow, because I bet you there's something that we can all do to help with that. Taking the antibiotics out of the feed, it seemed like it made a huge gram per head difference in what we were doing. We continue to talk to our veterinarian all the time. That helps us to, you know, give feedback as to what we're seeing, and then that helps them, you know, on their end, help produce us a healthier pig, so we don't have to use antibiotics. And you know, it just seems like everything is more targeted to specific animals' needs rather than historically, you know, just treating the whole herd with a feed antibiotic. The thing that concerned us most was when we really reduced the antibiotics in the feed, was that we were going to, you know, what were we going to see? Are we going to see increased health challenges? What else was going to come along with this? But we really did not see that. As far as when we reduced the antibiotics in the feed and the water, it just kind of allowed us to, really more focus on our management practices. So it had a positive impact on our farm, and it definitely helped our pocketbooks, not spending, money on the antibiotic part of it. So it's just been a very valuable tool for us to use to see where we are as far as the industry. One of the things that motivated us is telling our story to other people. Once they hear that I'm a hog farmer, that's what they want to know about. So I tell my story. We're breaking ground on a new nursery building up the road so that we can be a true 3-site operation. That means we get to move the nursery pigs off of this site and hopefully improve the health of the pigs here on this farm just by getting the other pigs off. We're also building it to be a mini finisher so that we don't have to commingle pigs anymore. So when we move them into the finishers, we don't have to put that stress on the pigs of getting used to each other and fighting again. So I think it's just the advantage of helping transition to the next generation, hoping it makes things easier for my son and his son and on down the line. It's been a real blessing working with family. Some operations probably isn't that way. There's some jealousy or something like that, but around here, it's been a blessing. I think Trey probably feels the same way. It's angering, it's frustrating, it's annoying, but I hope he knows everything I did is for the betterment of him and betterment of our operation, just like I know that my dad did for me.